Good evening. Tonight I have the honor of introducing my beloved son, Arjun Verma, who's going to perform for us out of his home in Fairfax, California, since he was unable to come here personally at this time. But I think he's going to have a message for us before he plays to convey his love for Guruji. Arjun was born here, a couple hundred yards behind me. What is now the Shanti Sadanam, we used to call the coops because it really was a converted chicken coop. So Arjun was born. For those people that are unfamiliar with this kind of lifestyle, Arjun was born in an ashram, in a chicken coop, underwater, in a horse trough, with a guru watching his birth. And you'll see the result. Anyway, he was very much blessed. Yes. It was called Shanti Sadanam, but we still called it. Those of us who lived there still. Yes. The old building was officially Shanti Sadanam. Yes, Residence of Peace.
And it was held together by grace.
And it was.
For 20 years, 30 years, grace, literally grace.
Yes, it was. We are very blessed to have a new building where that old Shanti Sadanam used to be. At any rate, many famous people stayed there. Yes, many, many famous people stayed in that humble abode. So we're back on track with Arjun, who had humble beginnings, and decided at age 5 that he wanted to learn sitar from his father, my beloved husband, Acharya Rup Verma, who formed the music school here a little over 40 years ago. We just so happened to have a baby sitar that had been delivered the day before by a student of Rup's. How timely was that? So Arjun had a small sitar to start on. And he practiced every single day, religiously, with great devotion. Under the guidance of his father, he chose not to go to school in 7th grade so he could stay focused on his instrument. And as a result, you will see what happened. Consistency of practice really made a difference. Not a whole lot, just consistency. Are we okay, sound-wise? I'm just stalling a little bit because he's going to supposedly come on at 8 o'clock. So I need to bring you up to date with Arjun. Arjun studied with Ali Akbar Khan, who was the great maestro, from age 16, when Rupji said to his own teacher, my husband's teacher was Maestro Ali Akbar Khan, he's yours now. And Arjun studied very devotedly for 8.5 years with Ali Akbar Khan. Oops. Are you sure we're okay? All right. Get out all the kinks before he starts. That's great. So he figured that he was going to make a career out of sitar when he graduated with a psychology degree with highest possible honors from Dominican University. And he discovered that it wasn't a really happening thing. So he went back to work doing a job that he'd been doing while he was interning in college. And 3 years later, the calling came to him. It just came like, boom, you have to do sitar now. This is your life's plan. So he went back to doing music, and then he was able to make a living and a career out of it. How that has blossomed. He has won many grants and many fellowships. Let's see. The Mosaic Foundation recently granted him to work with the Baroque Philharmonia Orchestra out of San Francisco. I was very delighted to be there for that concert. Arjun composed music based on J.S. Bach, the Western classical composer. And the program was called Bach in Bengal. So he combined Indian and classical music, playing with this Baroque Philharmonia orchestra members that was incredible. It was so beautiful. Then earlier he got a Creative Works Foundation grant to work with the Del Sol String Quartet. And it's interesting, the collaborations he's done are very interesting. He's very into continuing the tradition of classical music of India. All those years that he took music classes here during Rupshi's summer programs here really went deep in his training. But he wanted to reach out to Western musicians and find a way to bring this music to people that otherwise might not hear it. So with the Creative Works Foundation, that incredible piece that was composed got dampened by the COVID epidemic. So it's going to be released this year. You will finally hear it someday. It's just amazing. It's a real masterpiece. Then he got a really big opportunity to work with the London, okay, let me go back again, with the opera in St. Louis Opera Theater and St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, who performed with that opera company in an opera that was an East-West opera called Shalimar the Clown. So that was over a month he spent there. There were over 1,000 people every night who saw that performance for weeks. It was amazing. I wish I could have been there, but my husband wasn't well at that time, so we had to miss it. And then he worked with an opera in Houston as well with the same composer who had composed the other piece. And he also adds composing to these operatic pieces as well. He's a wonderful composer as well as an arranger, as well as a sitarist. He grew up singing in the boy choir, so I made sure that he had his roots in Western music. He played drums, traditional drums, Western drums, and he played marimba, four-mallet marimba, really well. So he could read Western music and Eastern music. Versatility comes in handy in this field. I guess I'm coming to an end. The latest thing is ginseng, a game from China. This game is so hot on the market right now. Arjun's music score is interwoven in 3.5 hours of music. And over 9 million people are playing this game now, hearing Arjun's sitar. And it is amazing soundtrack with the London Symphony Orchestra, the Budapest Orchestra, the Prague Orchestra, and great musicians from China, the Middle East, and India. So I think I've impressed you enough. Now it's time to hear Arjun Verma and just feel his heart through his music. Thank you.
Be a part of this centennial celebration of the birth of the great Sri Brahmananda Saraswati, a great human being who I was lucky enough to know in my childhood and to continue to be influenced by to this day. The impact of his work and the message he shared, the simple searching for truth in life, is one that is still strong and as relevant today as ever. And it makes life simple, uncomplicated, and I feel like it makes our path that we walk also simple and uncomplicated and at ease. And so in the spirit of that, I'm going to present something that is of a celebratory and peaceful nature, the rag Desh Malhar, in traditional sitar solo, alap, jor, jhala, the traditional form of our Hindustani classical music. Of course, my own connection with Sri Brahmananda wouldn't be there without the deep bond that my family had with him and continues to have, especially my father, the late Acharya Verma, without whom I wouldn't have started on my path of music, and my mother, Sri Tracy Verma, who is also a big part of the ashram and of course has been and lived there for many years. And I'm just happy to be continuing the work in the little way that I can. So I hope you enjoy Rag Desh Malhar. Happy birthday.